Hello and welcome back to another live stream. Another brilliant episode of Taskmaster. I really enjoyed episode 8. I can't believe we're on episode 8 already. It's going too quickly. I can't believe we've only got 2 episodes left, which is just insane. Like, it's gone so quickly, like 8 weeks of this already. So hey, what's the situation? Nice, the situation is good. So how did everybody find this episode, like, as a whole? Because I absolutely loved it. We had some really great really great tasks. Obviously, I think we had one of them was, I was trying to remember, I can't believe I've forgotten them all already. Oh yeah, we had some really good ones. I really liked all of them. That's what I can say. I really liked all of them. Hi everybody. I also think in this episode as well, we had so many great lines from Charlotte today, this episode. Like, so many good quotes from Charlotte. And she should have been one of the episode, like the title of the episode, because she had some really good lines. And there's so many, like, cute little, just her primary school teacher, like, children's presenter lines. Alex says, such a good episode. Safety announcement task was one of the funny moments this series. Yes, that was really good. That was, I would have absolutely, like, I'm not going to talk too much about it now, but I would have absolutely failed in that task if I was to do it. Like, there's just, it's so hard when they ask them to, like, speak a different language. I know it was like speak a different language or do an accent, and I literally cannot do either. The only language I can speak is English, and even that I'm not brilliant. Right, I think we should just get straight into it this time. So, right, first of all, let's just talk about the opening, like, little bit they do. That was absolutely hilarious. I think that's one of the funniest ones they've done. Definitely the funniest one they've done this series, with Alex, first of all, just talking nonsense about his birthday. And then him being forced to do an interpretive dance. What was it? It was making Alex dance, representing the division of North and South Korea in a disco break dance style, singing a funk song, which is just insane. And it was so good. Like, I would have just, if that was me being made to do that, I literally probably would have, like, I don't know, just, like, broken down, to be honest. So the prize task, I think, again, was, well, not good prize. There weren't many good prizes there, but the actual just kind of prize task as a whole was one of the funniest things ever. Like, especially starting out this episode so strongly. So obviously the prize task was the most satisfying wobbly thing. And just straight off, Greg saying that anybody who just brings in jelly is getting 0 points, which, yeah, just funny. Alex says, I love it when Greg makes Alex extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the highlights of Taskmaster, to be honest. Like, I don't know how he puts up with it. Like, I would literally just be so anxious that Greg is going to ask me to do something, like, stupid or weird or embarrassing if I was Alex. Ricky says, sorry, but with the exception of the final task, I wasn't really into this one. Ooh, that's a shame. But hopefully we can kind of change your opinion as we go along discussing it. But yeah, let us know what you think about certain tasks, because I personally found a lot of these tasks are, I really like the tasks. It'd be interesting to hear your opinion if you don't like them or you didn't find them as good as others. Yes, so the prize task. So yeah, Greg's saying that anyone who brings in jelly is getting 0, and then immediately Jamali is bringing in jelly. And I loved his kind of the way he led up to it. I thought was really funny. Like, oh, I had this whole speech planned, and and yeah, he brought in jelly, and I think we really got that kind of good energy from Greg and Jamali. I think they've just got a good kind of like banter between them, and almost like Greg has kind of like met his match with Jamali, because he doesn't really, he won't take much from Greg, which is quite funny. So yeah, Jamali brought in a Rubik's Cube in jelly, which he said a Rubik's Cube is a complete Rubik's Cube is satisfying because they're difficult to do. They're like notoriously difficult, and I cannot solve a Rubik's Cube. I know people who do. I just cannot do it to save my life. Yeah, so I think that was a good start. I mean, well, it wasn't brilliant, but it fit the criteria quite well. Like, it's satisfying and it's wobbly. And then Lee, again, bringing in the story about his daughter saying his belly's wobbly, and then making a quite, what's the word? Favourable jelly out of belly out of his jelly. I love the rhyme. I think that was good. Jelly belly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's better than a Rubik's Cube in a jelly, but I guess that kind of portrayed well in the scoring of it. I like the story. The story was funny, but it's not really satisfying. If my only nitpick about that is that it isn't. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's satisfying, but I guess just kind of like the feeling of it is. Yeah, Alex says Lee's was just a blob of jelly. Yeah, I'm trying to like make it sound better than it is, but it is literally just a blob of jelly. At least Jamali and Charlotte added something to it. But I guess his was just more like the story of it. Charlotte's I liked. Add a bit of like self-deprecation in there. And that, yeah, letter from her therapist commenting on her wobbly self-esteem in jelly. Again, not very satisfying. I guess I don't know. I guess they're just going with the jelly being satisfying. Yeah, I don't really know. It's quite hard to say. Yeah, so I liked Charlotte's. I think she put in a bit more effort, I guess. Unless Jamali did solve the Rubik's Cube. But I don't have a suspicion he didn't. Christian says, I honestly thought Lee was going to bring in his daughter, saying she threw wobblies. Well, the way that he started, it was like the most satisfying wobbly thing, and he just goes, my daughter, and it was like, it sounded like he was just finishing his sentence there, and I was like, what's satisfyingly wobbly about your daughter? Like, it was a weird kind of way he said it, and I was like, what on earth is he going on about? But yeah, Alex says Charlotte's was heartbreaking. And yeah, it was, but like I noticed she talked about her therapist when she was on the Taskmaster podcast, and it's like, okay, she's going through some stuff. I hope she's all right. But yeah, I think the prize was good. Yeah, I think it was quite good. I think a lot of the times when it's kind of like self-deprecating, making a joke about yourself and your situation, it tends to do quite well. Mike's prize, I actually really liked. A lot of the times I'm confused by his prizes, but this one I liked. It was a milk tooth, which, yeah, he talked about it being chat fuel, which I had absolutely no idea what he was saying at first. Like, chat fuel it didn't register in my brain as words that went together. Yeah, so sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought there. Yeah, they didn't go together as words in my mind. Like, I was so confused. And I think that was really good because it is wobbly, and the satisfying thing is that it, you falls out. It is very satisfying to get wobbly teeth. I absolutely loved having wobbly teeth as a kid, like 100%. I loved it. However, they kind of got less points than it should have done, in my opinion, just because Greg didn't like having wobbly teeth, which is fair. It happens to that. Happens to a lot of people that Greg just doesn't like what they're talking about, like football, for example. I don't think football related isn't going to get many points. Kristen says, I would have brought in a Greg Davies bobblehead. Yes, I did see some people saying that their first thought would be a bobbly head, and that is a good one. I think that's a really, really good prize. Definitely. Alice says, I think Mike goes for the confusing odd prizes, to be honest, or he's just very creative. Yeah, I think he's a mix of creative, and then also with like a hint of insanity is not the right word, but just a bit weird. But I like it. He's really cool. I had no clue he said teeth for a long time. Yes, tooth. I never. My dad says tooth. So I knew where he was going with that. But yeah, hearing that for the first time, it's like I have no idea what tooth means. But yeah. Alex says, first time this series, I think Mike was undermarked. Yeah, I agree. It was weird, yeah. Like normally I'm like, Mike has been overmarked so much on this, but yeah, I think he definitely deserved more than like joint with everybody else on this one. Because like they didn't even comment on the fact that he brought in, I'm assuming, his baby tooth. Or does he have children? Maybe, I don't know if he has children. Like whose baby tooth was that? I wish they had kind of dug into that a bit more. Like whose baby tooth did he bring in? Because I assumed it could have been his. Yeah, Ricky says, based on Greg's reaction to Mike's tooth, I was surprised that he didn't get less points. I would have actually given him 5 for standing out from the others. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think, his did definitely stand out for me. And again, I'm just going to emphasise, whose tooth was it? Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell if Mike's personality has just carried over from Man Down, or is he just generally like that? I guess he's just generally like that, and you know that's kind of what he brought to the role in Man Down. Yeah, because they are very similar people, like his character and himself. I think it's quite hilarious, to be honest. And like obviously Greg's character in Man Down isn't too dissimilar to Greg. So yeah, I guess it's just them all having fun. And Roisin's character as well is very similar to her. And last but not least is Sarah, who brought in a sausage of chicken meat. Again, sentences that I just didn't understand what she was saying to start with. Hers, I think, was kind of like basic, but I think just the fact that she broke it because she was flinging it and wobbling it round is quite a funny story. Again, I think she kind of brings it back, like ups her prizes with with kind of like the story to it. The tooth pronunciation thing came up in an episode of Would I Lie to You? Oh my god, I don't remember that. Oh wait, does Lee Mack say tooth? No, I don't know. I also think he does have kids. Okay, so it must be either his baby tooth or one of his kids. Weird. Because I'm pretty sure someone else brought in a collection of baby teeth at some point, and he said anyone who brings in a part of themselves gets 5 points automatically, and he didn't do that with this one. I can't remember for the life of me who was the one who brought in the teeth. I'm sure somebody will pop up with who it was, but yeah. I'm surprised that he used tooth instead of tooth. I always thought it was a Welsh accent dialect that said tooth. Yeah, I've only heard it from like Welsh people who say it, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think he said he was born in Oxford. Maybe it's a thing there as well. I've no idea. I was waiting for a clip of Sarah swinging the sausage around. Yes, that would have made her prize a lot better. Like, I wanted to see it actually being like wobbled. Yeah, because that would have made it a lot funnier, because it was literally just sausage meat. Yes, Aisling B was the one who brought in baby teeth. Thank you. Yes. I knew people would come through with that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said in response to that anybody who brings in part of themselves automatically gets 5 points. Yeah. So everybody got 3 points, which I think was a weird choice. Personally, I would have given Mike 5 points. Maybe bumped Charlotte up to 4 because, like, the whole therapist letter is, like, vulnerable. It's, that kind of stuff. Maybe given Charlotte 4, but I think all the rest having 3 is kind of fair enough. I think, what do you guys think? As says, Def Ashling probably for the category of most extraordinary souvenir. Yes. Oh my god, I felt like I watched series 5 not long ago, and I genuinely I can't remember much from anything at the moment. Like, my brain is just like mush, just because it's so near to the end of the semester. Like, my brain is just not working properly. I'm just glad Charlotte didn't only get 1 point. Yes, she definitely. Yeah. I would have been so sad if she only got 1 point for bringing in a letter from her therapist. Like, that would have been so mean. For a second, I thought Lee was wearing the Jelly Belly, and if he was, that would have been 5 points for me. That would have been hilarious. He definitely would have bumped up his points with that. That would be really, really funny. I wish he did that. Jonas says, the last 2 or 3 episodes changed my mind. Was pretty set on where I would rate this season, but as it stands right now, this makes it top 3 for me. Leah's really grown for me. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad. I have heard quite a lot of people say that this series is like becoming one of their favourites, and I completely agree. Like, just the chemistry between everybody is amazing. I think overall, as a whole, the tasks have been really, really good. Yeah, definitely, I agree. Alex says I'd have gone Mike 5, Charlotte 4, Sarah 3, Jamali 2, and Lee 1. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. If we're gonna do it, kind of like, you can't double up on points. I don't know. I'm not sure about Sarah's. I'm not sure how I feel about Sarah's. I definitely think Mike first, Charlotte second, and then maybe joint Jamali and Sarah. I don't know. It is difficult. I don't know how Greg does this. I think because he does make such kind of like impulse decisions and makes decisions quite quickly is why there is kind of like, sometimes it's like, oh, is that right? But I think overall, like, the fact that he is making these snap decisions is really, really good. If I was the Taskmaster, I'd literally be there for ages, like, thinking, like, meticulously going over who I think would have won. I think I remember Greg saying on Taskmaster podcast that this is one of his favourites. Oh, that's really nice. That's good. I never actually thought which series would have been Greg's favourite. I guess because with this he has got like people he's worked with before quite a lot, and like, I think it's just, I like he's got a good chemistry with literally every contestant, which I think is really good. And then we've got chemistry as a whole. Yeah. Noah says, I don't know why, but this series is probably lower in my list. I just haven't found it very funny. Fair enough. I guess it's just kind of like, it depends who your favourite comedians are. Yeah. I guess it's just subjective, really, isn't it? Yeah, fair enough. Alice says, was this the first time that everybody got the same score on the prize task? Ooh. I have no idea, to be honest. Maybe. They have got... I'm trying to think. Maybe in series 10 they gave everybody 1 point as a guess because of how bad the prizes were. Yeah, weird. Drew says, feels like Alex and Greg say every new season is their new favourite though. On UK daytime TV interviews, it feels like. Yeah, they probably do say that. Probably, I wouldn't put it past them because, they do have to sell the series that's airing. So by saying, oh yeah, this is my favourite one so far, yeah, definitely, like, it's like marketing, really, isn't it? Noah says, Alex Horne says series 6 was his favourite. Interesting. Considering that's one of kind of generally kind of considered one of the weaker ones, that's quite yeah, weird. Yeah, I agree, Alice. I feel like it has happened before. I just can't think when. Christian says maybe in series 7 everyone got 1 point. Yeah, and Alex says they can't really say the current series they're promoting wasn't very good. No. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're always going to kind of say the one that's airing is the best, just to get people to watch it. But yeah. Right, let's go on to the first proper task. So this one, it's a lot of introduction for this one. I had to write it all down. So it's say the word metronome between every tick of the metronome, so you can't touch or move it. Also, you must tie up a balloon, you must blow up a balloon bigger than your head, neatly wrap up the balloon, and eat 3 whole poppadoms. 5 minutes to do it, and it's whoever accomplishes the most tasks with the fewest missed metronomes. Right. Yeah. Oh, apparently Lewis says he said that offstage was so much fun and he and Lisa quickly became really good friends. Oh, that's really nice. I haven't watched Series 6 in a while, but I have watched some clips of it, and yeah, like it isn't bad. It's just, for me personally, I'm not a massive fan of many of the contestants, which is probably why. Yeah, I don't know. Jonah says, by the way, the group tasks have been extremely solid this season. That's all. Take care. Bye. Bye, Jonas. And I agree. The group, they've really, really done really well on the group tasks. Like, insanely good. I feel like there's a lot more this time than other series as well. And Alice says this one looks incredibly stressful. Yeah, and like 5 minutes is not a lot of time to do what they did. Right. I mean, first off, Mike just made it look so easy. He was just so smooth, and literally, like, as I said, nothing seems to faze him, which is like, it's just insane. Like, he was just straight into it. Just like, I don't, there's not really much I can say about him apart from just he was incredibly good at it. It's just like, yeah, it's so just smooth. Like, I think you could literally just bring him into a room, tell him, can you do this, and he will just do it like incredibly good. And also I really liked the joke that Alex had before this, and he's actually made Greg laugh a couple times in this episode alone with his kind of like pre-task jokes. So obviously this was the Mike Wozniak joke, which I think was pretty good. Right, okay. Robbie says that task was so good. Any task based on timing, like where they had to build a house of cards and ring the doorbell and it gets progressively harder, are ridiculous. Oh, that task was, I think, one of the best moments of Series 10. Like, yeah, as Noah just says, they learned from the mistakes of making group tasks too complicated in Series 10. Sorry, I'm completely going off track there. Yeah, Alex says Mike doesn't seem fazed by anything. He doesn't. It's insane. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, oh God, yeah, just insanely good. Right, and then it kind of goes a bit downhill after Mike. So we then saw Sarah and Lee do it, and I do have a bit of an issue with Sarah's one, just of how she was scored on this. So I think Sarah had a good approach by eating the poppadoms while she did her tasks, because, yeah, I don't know, I guess it's probably quite easier to eat them kind of as you go rather than trying to eat them all at the end, because I never thought eating 3 poppadoms would be so difficult, but apparently everyone did seem to kind of struggle with it. I wouldn't have thought poppadoms would have been the hardest thing to eat, but I guess they are like really dry. Yeah, I don't know, that kind of surprised me. I was like, oh, that seems like quite a nice task. You just blow up a balloon, wrap it up and eat some poppadoms. But yeah, so yeah, Sarah's technique I think was quite good. And yeah, one thing I did find about I think just Mike, Sarah and Lee, the balloons they blew up were like much bigger than their head, like way bigger. But I guess that's just kind of like, I don't know, just making sure that it is bigger. Like you don't really want to, do all of that and then the balloon not be bigger than your head. Yeah, so both Sarah and Lee blew up the balloon and tied it, and then while they were wrapping it, the balloon popped. Which, yeah, I mean, I may as well just get into this now because it is my main point about this task. So, Jamali's balloon also popped. When he popped it after he'd like pretty much wrapped it all, and then they said, well, didn't say the balloon had to be inflated the entire time. You wrapped the balloon and that was fine. And then they said, oh, Lee did the same as well, and his was pretty much completely wrapped. And then, right, so there was 3 criteria for this task. So it was blow up the balloon, wrap up the balloon, and then eat the 3 poppadoms. So they didn't say that if the balloon had to stay inflated like the entire time. Like, yeah, so Sarah should have got, they kept saying that she didn't do any of the tasks right, but she did. She blew up the balloon bigger than her head. Like, she got one of the tasks completed. Like, I don't understand that. Was it just me just misunderstanding it? Because they gave Lee the point and Jamali because they blew up the balloons and pretty much wrapped it. But that wasn't part of the... Like, there was three tasks they had to do. I don't know. Might just be me. The balloons kept blowing up. Was it due to the sharp wrapping paper? Yeah, probably that, and a mix of, like I said, I think Sarah and Lee did kind of like blow up their balloons a bit too much. Like, yeah, they kind of got it a bit too close to their, just a lot of like pressure on the balloon, I guess. Alice says, yes, I thought that. Technically, it doesn't matter if it's popped so long as it's wrapped up. Yeah, exactly, because they made that point with Lee and then said Sarah didn't complete any of the tasks. It's like, well, no, she did. She blew up the balloon. Ed says, I think letting the air out straight away and wrapping the deflated balloon would have been allowed. Yeah, I agree, because they didn't say you had to wrap up the inflated balloon, just wrap up the balloon. I think that's a good point. Definitely, that could have been a way around it. Alex says, did Sarah miss more metronomes than the others? I don't think she missed like that many more. Like, obviously more than Mike, like he did insanely good, but I think Charlotte missed the most, and they put her in the same, gave Sarah and Charlotte 1 point each. So I don't know. Ricky says, I was kind of hoping that somebody would mess with the metronome, maybe accidentally kicking the pedestal so it would have fallen to the ground. I don't know whether that would have counted as, it would have counted, they weren't allowed to move it, so I guess that, the metronome is being moved. I don't know. I don't think they would have let that fly, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. Faye says she should have got the point for blowing it up, but it popped before she started wrapping it, so she didn't bother wrapping it, so she did one less task. Yeah, she definitely shouldn't have got the point for wrapping it, but I don't know. I still feel she should have got the point for blowing up the balloon. How old are you? I'm 21, which is insane. I don't feel 21. Kristen says, the easiest way to wrap was just make a bag of wrapping paper and then just drop the balloon in the bag. Yes, that is good. That is really, really good. Oh, I would have struggled with this one so much. Like, I am not good at wrapping at all. And even Lee struggled with getting the sellotape off. I think he made a comment and was like, oh, why did I not cut my nails or something? No, why did I cut my nails just for this? Sarah's been a pretty good sport throughout, Ricky says. Yeah, I agree. She's been really good. Like, she's been humble when she wins, and also she doesn't really argue too much about the points if it doesn't go her way, which I think is, very good. Alex says they definitely deserve more than 1 point. Yes, I was going to get onto this later, but yeah, I think the scoring was really, really unfair on this one. So obviously Mike 100% deserves 5 points, no doubt about it. And then they put Lee and Jamali at 4 points each. Because they both did 2 of the tasks, or maybe Jamali did 3. And then they got 1 point each. Like, I think it would have been fair to do like 5, 4, and then 3. Like, putting, those 2 down at 1. I don't know. I feel like, I thought that was quite unfair. I mean, I like Jamali. I think Jamali did really well on this one. So he was just kind of like, again, he didn't seem to question it too much, which I think was quite cool. So obviously he recorded himself saying metronome, or rather metronome. He recorded it wrong, which I think was quite funny. So then he could eat the poppadoms like uninterrupted, which, I thought that was really good. Alex says it looks like they're trying to cut Sarah's lead down. Yeah, I did think that as well. It definitely does seem like that, which I think is kind of unfair, but I don't know. So as I was saying about Jamali, so on the podcast, Ed said that Jamali should have got disqualified for saying metronome wrong. And I was like, no, like literally everybody said it wrong at some points, and I think even if we did say it wrong, he still had the idea to record it. So I don't know. I think I don't think he should have got disqualified at all. No, definitely not. Oh, Kristen says, I wonder if there was a hidden air pump in the room somewhere. Yeah, I think that would have been... Oh, if this was done in series 5 with Mark Watson, God, they would have had to supply a pump for him. Or I guess what they did if they couldn't blow up the balloon in that series was that they got somebody else to do it. I'm surprised nobody else thought of that. I'm surprised nobody thought of getting anybody else to blow up the balloon. Yeah, similar. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a hidden air pump. Greg's never been the most objective judge anyway. Yeah, I know. I know. It's just kind of like, like I've said multiple times before, he does a better job than I think anybody else could, Will you do an update video on your tier list rankings to include season 11? Probably. I might wait until we've kind of done a few more. I don't know. I probably will at some point. Probably. Jamali's method was so clever, I don't think it mattered that he pronounced it differently. No, I agree. Like, it kind of like balanced itself out. Like, you said it wrong, but they did say, Greg said at the start, I'm not going to penalise anybody for saying it wrong, so it would have been then unfair to then penalise Jamali for saying it wrong. As I was saying at the very start of the stream, there have been some really, really great lines with this already. So we've got Lee shouting out, I've got a BAFTA, while choking and spitting out poppadoms. And then Charlotte eating the poppadoms like round in a circle, and then choking on it a bit. And then saying, I've had a bit of an accident. Which, I thought some great lines already. Noah says, sorry, did you know that this is the first time that an overall score corresponds with the order of seating? Huh. No, I didn't know that actually, but yeah, now that you pointed out, it's so obvious, yeah. It would be cool if it did kind of, it won. That was kind of like the overall ordering of the series, is that like when it finishes. Oh yeah, another quote that I liked was Jamali complaining that there wasn't any chutney to go with the poppadoms. Alex says, I think Lee shouting about his BAFTA while spewing poppadom crumbs is the epitome of this show. Yeah, like distinguished comedians just completely embarrassing themselves is just, yeah, literally what you said, the epitome of the show. Like it's exactly what Taskmaster was made to do. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, right, okay. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Oh, also I found it really funny that nobody would tell Charlotte that that the balloon was bigger than her head, and she had to take a picture of it on her phone. I thought that was quite funny. Sita's saying Charlotte took a sweet time with the balloon. It gave me serious secondhand anxiety. Yes. Yeah, that was pretty much what I was saying with the taking the picture of it, but no one would tell her how big the balloon was in comparison to her head. But yeah, she did take ages. Yeah, and she managed to do like not too badly. Oh well, I mean they gave her 1 point, but I think that's underrated definitely. Yeah. Noah says at this point there is no point in doing the points as Sarah is clearly going to win. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but we never know. I think it's kind of like, could be like a comeback for, I guess Mike and Lee could possibly still win. Possibly. I mean, there's only 9 points. Yeah, I think 9 points. Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am. Can they revoke a BAFTA? I mean, I think you'd have to do a lot worse than spewing out poppadoms to revoke a BAFTA. Right, okay, so on to the next task, which is another team task, which again, as somebody said before, we've had really, really good team tasks this series, and I completely agree. Like, I think we've had more team tasks this series than we have any others. I mean, it definitely seems like that anyway, which I was really surprised by, considering like social distancing and everything. Yeah, so again, a lot of rules for this task as well. So, okay, yeah, it wasn't. Sarah's only 9 points ahead. Cool. Yeah, you actually remembered a fact right this time. So, the task was draw the best British animal. You may not look at any other section during that time. Every section must be used, and you may not communicate with each other in any way during the task. They have 3 minutes for each section. So, this is basically a game. Like, did you guys play this game, like, in school or like, when you were younger and stuff? Like, you fold up the paper, we played that game quite a lot. I definitely played this game a lot. I really like when they kind of turn a childhood game into a task, like they did with the slap and the marshmallows and the tongs. It's okay. So in the chat talking about favoritism going on, which I can kind of agree. It would be hilarious as a skit if Greg Davies showed up while Lee Mack was on stage at the BAFTA and just took it away and only said, "You know why." Yeah. Yeah. Ricky says, I don't recall too many times that phones were used in past episodes other than making phone calls. Yeah, I definitely think people could use their phone a lot more, but I think it's just kind of like principle. It's kind of not really encouraged very much. Yeah. Okay, we've got a few people in the chat saying that they did used to play this game as a child, and it's like, yes, good. Yeah, I really like this game. We used to play it, like, it was one of the things we would do in, like, classes that we didn't like in school as kind of, like, procrastination and stuff like that. So, yeah, I love this task. Blue Raven Video says, I'm going to be honest, I haven't been a fan of the team tasks this series, as there isn't much room for lateral solutions. I get where you're coming from. I don't know, I personally really like them. I think it's just nice. I like them. I think they've been quite good. I was always only thinking how you could cheat in the drawing game. Was there a way around it? I did think maybe, but they seem to kind of have covered everything. So you may not look at any other section when you're drawing. So yeah, that's kind of out. Like they said, you can't look at any other section. Every section must be used, and you may not communicate with each other in any way. So yeah, I don't know how. I mean, did they say that you couldn't draw in more than one section at a time? I think probably they did, but I didn't write it down, so maybe they didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Sita says the social distancing seemed to have contributed to making the team tasks more fun rather than limit them like last season. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that is definitely, it definitely just feels like they're just having fun, and I think it's really nice. I think it is really nice. Jay Green says we always used to play it on napkins waiting on food in restaurants and stuff. Yeah. It is a fun game to play, to be fair. And Noah says, I believe Lee Sanders or Sean Gibson said that Taskmaster podcast that phones need to be handed in at the start of the day. Yeah, that makes sense. I can definitely understand why they would want to hand in phones and stuff. So yeah, draw the best British animal. So I know they made fun of this, like, in on the show, but my first thought was lion, because it is like the English national animal, I think. I'm not sure if it's just kind of like Great Britain as a whole. Let's see what it is actually. National animal. Yeah, the lion. Oh, it still says of England actually. Yeah, because I know obviously Wales is a dragon, which is pretty cool. But yeah, my first thought was lion. It didn't say it had to be an animal that lived in Britain, but it is like the symbol of England. So I don't know. My first thought was lion, not the Great British Hedgehog like Mike suggested. Sita says this task would have been harder even if they knew what animal they were supposed to draw. Yes. It was a really, really tough task. I mean, I guess this one is just kind of like a bit more just like someone said before, like Sita said before, it's just kind of like having fun. And I definitely see that in this task especially. Because I genuinely can't think of a way to get round not seeing anybody else's. They could have asked Alex what the last person drew, but I doubt he would have told them anyway. Yeah, I doubt he would have told them. I don't, especially not to Jamali. The Scottish national animal is the unicorn. Yes, I believe it is, as the lion and unicorn are mortal enemies. Oh, I did not know that. No, that is insane. Yeah. There's a text version of this game called The Exquisite Corpse, which is super fun if you are with good storytellers. Oh, I've never heard of that. I'll check it out. Is it a bit like the game where you kind of, each person says a word and it goes around, or a bit more advanced than that, like say a sentence or something? Kristen says I would have gone unicorn because unicorns are much cooler than anything else. Yeah, I agree. They are much cooler than anything else. yeah, so there was a lot of random animals that everybody drew. So some of the ones that I noted down was hedgehog, a grouse, a pigeon, a rabbit, and a Birdford brown hen. So yeah, those are the animals. Canada's animal is the beaver. It's weird enough looking that it might actually be easier. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, a beaver. Yeah. Alex says, I would have done a penguin just to mess with everyone. Yeah, I mean, that would have been... I don't know if that might not fit the task, though. So, yeah. And one thing with this task as well is you would have had to go... Like Mike's first thought was a hedgehog. And I think with this task, you're going to have to go with kind of a long animal because of just the way the board is. So I guess going with a penguin would have been a perfect kind of shape for the board. I'm trying to think. Yeah, well, I don't know. So that, what was it called again? Exquisite corpse is when you write a sentence, you can only see the sentence immediately before yours. Interesting. Cool. I have to keep that in mind. Yeah. So let's start talking. Should we talk about Mike and Lee's? So yeah, me and Mike were quite similar in the way that our first animal was lion, but he always went with Great British Hedgehog, which is a good choice for an animal, if I do say so myself. And yeah, and then Lee's first thought was a grouse. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to describe them, but you guys know what at the end product was. So it had like 2 heads, and yeah, it was an odd one. Yeah. I think this is a task that favours the team of 2. Yes, I think it does actually. I think that is one of the ones that favours the team of 2. So yeah, because obviously you draw more, so obviously your animal is going to be half right, if that makes sense. So yeah, I didn't think about that actually. So yeah, their animal is going to be more accurate. Like it is going to be a mix of 2 animals, right? Whereas the group of 3 is going to be a mix of 3. Huh. Yeah. Didn't think about that. That is a very good point. And they did get more points as well. Channel 4 definitely upped the budget as they could afford to make models of the drawings. I loved those models. It was they were so good. I'm pretty sure they said well, potentially they would like make and sell those models, which if they do I definitely want to see them because they would be so cool. I definitely want to have one. Yeah. Yeah, someone else saying such a great idea to make the animal toys. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, again, with, like, their actual thing, personally, like, just personal opinion, I preferred the group of 3's animal. It just looked a bit more coherent than the other ones. But Mike definitely sold it with his description of it. Like saying the 2 mouths is so he can eat eat the food and then has a second mouth to feed its young, and they all order up nice and neat and they queue up, and yeah, and that's what won them the extra point because Greg likes it that the creature has taught its young basic manners. So yeah. Alex says, I think they definitely plan the team tasks, so some favour the duo more and some favour the trio more. Yeah, I definitely agree with that because there are some where, yeah, the team of 3 have such a bigger advantage. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't had that kind of like more arguments about it, but yeah, I think most people kind of understand that sometimes they're going to be advantaged and sometimes they're going to be disadvantaged. Yeah. Christian says, I think the team of 3 was hard done by. Yeah, I agree in this task. I mean, I guess they weren't too badly scored. I think 3 and 2 was the best way to do this one. Yeah, and Alex just says Mike and Lee definitely won on the narrative. Yeah, and I think they definitely did sell it a lot more. But even though, like, I think the group of 3 sold it pretty well as well. Like, I like the way that Jamali said his is like, if you saw him in a forest, you'd think it's random quests. And I completely agree with that. Like, it does seem like that. And one thing that the group of 3s reminded me of, which I don't know why, but it reminded me of like the Birdman from Rick and Morty, and I don't know why. Just like the face reminded me of him. Yeah. I don't know why. Don says the key is to go along with Greg's comedy bit and just make it more absurd. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think most of the time when that's just how you do it. You've got to make it sound insane, and Greg will love it. Yeah, the Taskmaster online shop needs more items anyway. How about making those creatures into fluffy hug pillows? Oh, I would love that. That would be so good. I definitely think the kind of like Taskmaster merch could be done a bit better. Like I guess they kind of just are building up their kind of like merchandise and stuff. Yeah, I definitely think they could have a lot more kind of like really quirky things and kind of like memorabilia from the house and from the show, like these 3D model things. Oh yeah, Bird Person, not Birdman. Sorry, yes, Bird Person from Rick and Morty. That's what the group of 3s reminded me of. Yeah. Also, I think Charlotte's drawing of an owl head, I think, was really good. I think it was a chicken, or a hen. But yeah, really good. I think Charlotte's drawings was really good, and Jamali's was quite good, apart from the fact he didn't join them up. Yeah. It looked like an owl bear from D&D, referring to the group of 3s, I'm assuming. Yeah, and also, can't believe I haven't talked about this yet, but Greg breastfeeding the group of 3s animal thing. Yeah, I think that was just so weird. Like, how did it get to that? I don't know how. And I also like Charlotte's comment saying, "Are you talking to it?" I don't know why, but it's just like she's getting a bit cheekier as we go along. Like she's making, I think she's getting a bit more confident in the studio and is willing to kind of, point things out that Greg's doing and stuff like that. And like before, when they were assigning the dance for Alex to do, Alex asked like, "Oh, what's disco break?" And Charlotte just says, "It's in your bones." And I thought that was quite funny as well. Highway Brian says, such a charming notion that the hedgehog might be the quintessential British animal. Yeah, I love the hedgehog, so I agree. It is the best British animal. And yeah, the breastfeeding was disturbing. I agree. It just seemed to come out of nowhere. It was odd. And yeah, I agree. I think Greg has just been lonely in lockdown. Like it was an odd sequence of events that. Right, on to task 3, I think. So this one, I think, was the best task of the episode, just in my opinion. And it was record the greatest aircraft safety announcement, then perform the greatest safety demonstration. And it must be in an accent or language that is not your own, and the most unforgettable announcement wins. Yeah, someone's made a good point. We don't know how weird Greg, Alex, and the contestant stuff. So we don't know how much weird Greg, Alex, and contestant stuff landed on the cutting room floor, though. Yes, I agree. I mean, some of the outtakes that we've seen from previous seasons and from this one, there have been some absolutely insane stuff cut out. Ricky says, I really liked Charlotte and called them midwife, so it's great to see, great to get to see her on the show. Yes, I loved her and called midwife as well. I think she was really good. Noah says, Charlotte is too used to scripted events and struggles when live. She reminds me of Alex Levine too, as some of her jokes don't quite catch on. I mean, I personally really like Charlotte. Like, she's in a lot of my favourite shows. So, I don't know, I just like her kind of, like, I don't know, the way, I don't know, I think she's just kind of like got that, like, cheeky but kind of reserved, like, thing about her, and I think that's quite funny. Alice says, I love this task so much. Anything featuring accents or other languages is always funny. Yes. Yes, I agree. I mean, I don't even know where to start with this, because there were so many good moments before the task even began. Robert Brooks just joined. What part are we on? We're just on task 3, which is the aircraft safety announcement task. We've literally just started talking about this one. So, I mean, Charlotte just being so happy that she's on a plane. I think that was funny. I mean, her eek. We've got another like primary school teacher moment. And then using Lorraine Kelly to get into a Scottish accent, and that was just brilliant. That is it. Someone should have done the voiceover in Cushion. Yes, I mean, if you'd done that, you'd have been straight to first place with that. Oh, that's such a good idea. That is such a good idea. Yeah. Joy Green says, I really wanted to hear Sarah's opinion on Lee's Australian accent. Yes, definitely. I wanted to see that too. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, everyone's saying, I love Charlotte's delight at being on a plane. We're on a plane, boys and girls. Oh my God, that is exactly something she would say. If she, wait, did she say it? I can't remember. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, Kristen's I would have just done the entire thing in sign language. I mean, how would you have done that over the recording thing? I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a good point, but like you wouldn't be recording anything. But that's confused me. I mean, Jamali's French accent at the start was insane. Like, I was fully expecting him to just be fluent French the entire time. Like, it was oh God, he really catfished us, and that's not the right thing, but yeah, he catfished us with how good at French we were expecting him to be. And yeah, he is about my level of French, and I did French at GCSE, and I literally, like, don't remember anything. Like, oh God, I literally don't remember anything. And I don't know how Mike managed to do his German one from mainly GCSE German. Like, how does he remember so much? I don't know. But yeah, Jamali's announcement was literally just him just saying random French phrases like, how are you? What is your name? How old are you? And yeah. Alex says, Jamali really overpromised on his French. Yes, he did. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody was going into that expecting him to just be completely fluent. Christian Brown says, it said make an announcement. It didn't say it needed to be over the tannoy. Ah, that is a good point. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't say. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that could have worked. Right. Yeah, so he started off with bonjour in the aircrafty, which is, yeah. Yeah, very French. Alex says, I did GCSE German 6 years ago, and I legit can't remember anything from it. Yeah, I did my French GCSE, how many years ago was that? Probably around the same, like 5 or 6 years. And yeah, genuinely cannot remember anything. Jay Green says Jamali was everybody in the secondary school French oral exams. Yeah. Yeah, just asking random questions and oh god, I can't. Yeah. Oh god, I'm just imagining how bad I would have been at this task. Like I would have been, yeah, pretty much like Jamali was. I probably would have attempted to speak French because I think me attempting to do an accent that's not my own would have been even more embarrassing than getting a language wrong. I don't know why. I feel like it's more offensive to get the language to get the accent completely wrong. Yeah. As a German, just want to say that Mike's stuff didn't always make sense, but it was still pretty good. Okay, yeah, because like they didn't put. Did they put subtitles on his? I think they did. Yeah, it sounded overall better than Jamali's. I don't know how accurate or good it was. Yeah. Ricky says, this task just didn't seem to lend itself to the contestants. Trying to think who would have nailed this. Maybe Nish or Bob Mortimer. I think Bob Mortimer would have done a great job. Definitely. As I speak a bit of German and it was mostly correct. Just some of the translation was slightly off, but nothing major. I wondered if he used Google Translate to help. Maybe. I mean, I didn't think about that. He could have easily used Google Translate. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mel definitely would have aced it because what language? German? Did she speak? I can't remember what language she spoke in the task where they had to go like in the bin and stuff. It was either German or French, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, Mike's was definitely, from somebody who can't speak languages or do accents, definitely seemed the best. Probably joint with Charlotte for like how good the accent or language, not, how good the accent or language was. So yeah, I think they definitely deserved 5 and 4. Yeah, it was French. Did the other team do German then? Or am I just making that up? I don't know. I don't know. Generally, like, oh yeah, I literally just at the moment can't seem to retain like any information. But everyone's saying French, so yes, it was probably French. I mean, well, yeah, it was French. Yeah. Yeah, so some of the lines, well, one of the line that I got from Mike that I thought was funny is, if you have children, bad luck. Just bad luck. And then also saying that the seatbelt can be used to cover your eyes so you don't see that you're dying. Okay, cool, yeah. So I got the 2 languages right, just couldn't remember which way round it was. So yeah. Mel and Hugh did French, and then the group of 3 did German. Cool. Who should I talk about next? I mean, all of them kind of went with just kind of like just that you're going to die on this flight, which was an odd choice for literally everybody to go with. Yeah, I don't know why they all did that. But it was funny. I liked Charlotte, because basically it was like saying he had to make the greatest safety announcement, and she just kept saying that this is the greatest safety announcement they're ever going to listen to, and like saying things like sit in your seat, if like stay seated if you agree, keep your luggage above in like the above I can't remember what they're called, like luggage holder thing, and if you disagree then climb out of the window and jump out the plane. Yeah, I thought that was a good thing, although I think her kind of safety demonstration wasn't the best, which is I think why she was 1 point less than Mike, which I think is fair. Because yeah, like I think she could have put in a bit more effort in the actual safety demonstration, because Mike just had it like great announcement and then great, just insane demonstration. Robert says, I think Charlotte was going to try and crawl into the upper storage space. Yeah, I did think that as well at one point. I don't know why it was just finding a pack of crisps in the upper storage space and eating the pack of crisps. I don't know why that was the thing, but I don't understand that, but it was funny to watch. I mean, I can't believe I haven't talked about Sarah yet. Just madness. Just madness, screaming. And I'd probably have to do the same, like I said before. Like, I cannot do accents and I cannot speak another language. So I think she had a really good way to get around it. And they went for most unforgettable, and it definitely was the most unforgettable. So I felt like Greg did kind of change the criteria of the task. So obviously on the actual task it said most unforgettable, and then he said, I'm going to judge this on how safe I would feel in the plane, which isn't really the point of the task. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think about the scoring on this one? So Mike got 5, then Charlotte and Jamali got 4 points each, and then Lee and Sarah got 3 points each. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. I feel like it is quite hard to judge, so I definitely agree with it grouping up people. I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, I kind of think definitely maybe like Mike. It depends if you're going for unforgettable, because as I said, just like Sarah's is the most unforgettable. But I think, I don't know. I really don't know. Kristen says, I think I would have had Sarah above Lee. Yeah, I think. Yeah, because they were joint. Because I definitely think hers is definitely more memorable than Lee's, definitely. I think Mike did deserve 5 for speaking comprehensive German. Yeah, see, that's my thing. Like, even though Sarah's is more original, Mike's was the best. I agree with him for 5. And then we're saying, Highway Brian says definitely thought Sarah should have won. Alex says Sarah deserved more, Jamali deserved less, which I think I agree with as well. I agree that Sarah should have been higher. Alice says they were also good. I would have maybe given more points to Sarah for originality. I definitely agree with what your guys are going for. So if we say kind of like Mike with 5 points, then Sarah and Charlotte with 4, and then Lee and Jamali with 3. Is that good, or would you guys separate it even more than that? Sita says, I thought Sarah deserved more points, but Jamali's French made me proper cry laugh. Yeah, his French was good. Well, not good, but that's the point. Highway Brian says, Charlotte's calm demeanour in the demonstration juxtaposed with her insane voiceover. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Definitely unforgettable, which I think is the thing that I just keep coming back to, because it said most unforgettable. But I don't know. I think I'm happy with Mike with 5, Charlotte and Sarah at 4, and then Lee and Jamali at 3. Just for me personally. Yeah. Ricky says Sarah should have taken it, so another vote for Sarah for 5 points. Yeah, it is so hard to judge these ones. I think this episode, I think, I've had kind of like the most difficult to score one. Yeah. Ricky says, I also think that James Acaster may have also been good with this task, and Rod, I can just imagine he would have disrobed for it. Yeah, he probably would have. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, maybe disrobed Alex at the time. Yeah, say if Rod would have got Alex to disrobe for it. Oh God, yeah. I can just, yeah, that series would have been insane for this task. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I wish we could see that series do it. Yeah, they would have all been really good. I'm just trying to think like who else would have done this task really well. I mean, I can imagine Joe Wilkinson kind of going for like a really unbothered kind of like safety demonstrator, if that makes sense. Like he just literally could not be bothered. He's just on the plane doing it for the money, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. Just trying to think who else. Ooh, might think about that later. Alex says would have given, okay, so Sarah 5 points, Mike 4 points, Charlotte 3, and then Lee and Jamali 2. Yeah, I think that's quite fair. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. I think that's fair enough. Rod would have worked in Greg being fat too. Yeah. Alex Stewart says, it's tasks like these that make me wonder how different the results be if I scored them. Yeah, these ones are very kind of like subjective and just kind of like, yeah, any kind of, you can argue for any one, really, I think. Jay Green says, I think Catherine Ryan would have been good. Yeah, Catherine Ryan can actually speak French, so she would have been good as well. Sally Phillips would have gone insane. Yeah. Yes, she would have gone insane. Like, she might have, yeah, oh God, yeah, she would have done, yeah, she would have gone insane. Do you think that they should redo series, get the cast back from a particular series back for one or a few episodes, especially the earlier series? I don't think they will, but I think it would be good. I think I really like series 1. It would be cool to see kind of, you know, the original lineup, like the first lineup, come and do it again. I think that would be really good. Who else was like? I mean, yeah, there's so many people I would love to see do it again. It would be so good. Yeah. Bob Mortimer's would have been surreal with impossible stuff happening. Yeah. I think with Bob Mortimer, you cannot predict what he would do. You just know it's going to be, like, just insane. I think that's just the best way to describe Bob Mortimer. I think everything he does surprises people. Hi O'Brien says, off topic, but do you think that the series finale should just be Alex and Greg facing off in tasks? Oh, that would be good. Yeah, that would be really good. Like, who would win? The person who basically, like, you know, who invented the show and comes up with most of the tasks and stuff, or the person who scores it all. Yeah, that is difficult. I don't know who would win out of Greg and Alex. Yeah. Sweet says, I really enjoyed the Christmas special lineup. Wish we had more episodes with them. Yeah, I do too as well. Like, they were so good. Like, I was kind of going in, like, not that I thought it wouldn't be good, but that it won't be as good as kind of the other series because it's only one episode and, you know, the cast aren't like stand-up comedians and stuff. But I think it worked so well, and I would love to see more episodes of those 5 because it was so good. And I think it just goes to show that you don't need a comedian to be on it for it to be funny, because yeah, just the show itself is hilarious. Yeah. Right, on to the studio task. This I think was a good task as well. So it's stand on either 1 or 2 legs behind the curtain, and then once your hands are on your head, you cannot change which leg you're on, and then Greg guesses. yeah, this one I thought would go on for a lot longer than it did. Yeah, I thought it'd be like kind of the hot dog or finger game, like it just kept going on forever and ever. But it didn't. It was actually like 2 rounds of it, which is a shame. Can you place the champion of champions in order of where you think they'll come? For me, I think Ed will win, Kerry and Lou will tie second, Lisa third, and Richard fifth. I think for me, it's between Ed and Kerry winning. Maybe I definitely think Lisa or Richard would be in fifth. I agree with that. Oh, it's difficult. I don't know. Yeah, so people, another iconic studio task, the best part of the show, in my opinion. This is another one to add to the party games. The absolute drama of this studio task was good. Okay, so everybody loves the studio task, and I agree. I wish we'd seen more of it, as I said before. Like, I thought it would go on for a lot longer than it did. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was, yeah, again, just like a simple concept is like sometimes just a simply like the simple things are just the funniest. So yeah, I guess we'll just go in order of who did it first. So Charlotte, I struggle with this one because I thought there was a possibility that she could have been on one leg, especially when she started. Like she kind of like moved a tad bit to one side, like she was kind of distributing her like weight a bit. But then I think she kind of wobbled a bit too much, which was what gave her away. But yeah, so she got out straight away. Alex is genuinely one of the most tense studio tasks. Okay. This task would have been really tricky, as you don't know if you should double, triple, or even quintuple bluff. Yeah. Charlotte crashing and burning was tragic. Yeah, I definitely think she started out well with the wobble, and then she just should have stayed like kind of like as still as possible, because she did like tip all over like way too much. And like you said, that is what kind of gave her away. And then she was just like, oh, is my career over now? My acting career over? But yeah, I did feel I did feel a bit bad for her, but it was funny. The Jamali tactic was genius. Yes, it was. Well, I mean, we'll talk about Jamali now. So his first one, he did really well, just on the first one. And then the idea of resting your elbows on the box is genius, because then you don't have the kind of wobble, so it is literally just 50-50 at that point. Like there's no way for Greg to have guessed. Like, there was no clues there for him. It was literally just 50-50. Which, yeah, I thought was good. My favourite thing about this task was just how confident Greg was a lot of the time. Especially with Lee's first attempt, he was so confident that he was on one leg, and he wasn't. Yeah. And then, yeah, Mike got out straight away as well, because he was on one leg. And then Sarah's technique was good as well, kind of like the hopping around. And then, she was on one leg for both of her attempts as well. And yeah, first time he guessed 2. But yeah, I literally, I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what leg people were standing on, apart from Charlotte towards the end, possibly thinking that she was kind of overdoing it a bit. Ricky says, more than any other season, it seems like the idea of the careers being at risk due to the humiliating performances have come up quite a bit. Funny stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have focused on the fact that, like, oh, this could be the end of my career, which, yeah, is really funny. Alex Stewart says, from how I've tried to do it, it helps if you wrap your raised leg around the other. Oh, okay. Yeah. yeah, I don't have great balance, so I probably would have just gone on 2 feet, probably, was how I'd have to do it. Yeah. Lou was so good at this task, and I kind of expected it, maybe because on Would I Lie to You? Yeah, he talked about this on the podcast, and it's like, when you, like, lie or tell the truth, you have to do, like, the same. Like, you have to... Like, when you're lying, you have to act that you're telling the truth. Like, and even if when you're telling the truth, you give lots of detail, then when you're lying, you also have to give a lot of detail. Like, you can't do both. So I think that's why when he was, like, standing on 2 legs, he actually acted as if he would when he was on 1 leg. Like, he definitely has a good method for it. So yeah, that is probably why he did so well. Ricky says, why no one turned around? I have no idea. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I guess if you know that your kind of, like, face is going to give it away, then turning around would have been a good way to get around that. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that at all. Yeah, so on this one, obviously Lee won and he got 5 points. And then Sarah and Jamali both got 3 points each. And then Charlotte and Mike got 1 point each. So overall, Lee won this episode, which is 2 in a row for Lee. Yeah, which is pretty impressive. So I think let's see who's had. So how many has Sarah won again? 3 episodes, and then Lee's won 2. Charlotte and Jamali have won 1, and Mike's won 1. I should have added that up. Yeah. Alex says it's odd Charlotte and Mike got a point for it, considering they didn't get past round 1. Yeah, actually, I didn't think of that. That is a good point. Yeah. I guess just participation. Participation points, I guess. Yeah. You could have had Alex come in and balance on him. Oh, I don't think they could have done that because, like, social distancing, but yeah. But I think without social distancing in place, they could have done that. Yeah, I think that would have been quite good if he would have allowed it, though. I don't know if he would. Jay Green says, I think a good tactic may have been to be on 1 leg, but exaggerate your wobbling so it looks like you're faking the wobbling. What's that, like a triple bluff? Yeah, I think that's a good technique, that. Yeah, like just really, really wobble. But then he could have called you out on that. You know, I wouldn't put it past Greg. Like, he has a good eye for this sort of stuff. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad everybody's won at least 1 episode, especially Charlotte. Yeah, same. I really like it when they do win an episode, and I think, yeah, I'm trying to think, have any other series had everybody win 1 episode? I'm trying to think what series, because there's always been kind of like one person in each series that is kind of like a lot weaker than the others. Yeah, I'm so glad Charlotte won an episode. Like, they do point out to her a lot that she kind of, she's not going to win at all. Like, she is a lot of points behind. Yeah. Don says, I think Alex is up to his sneakiness game this season. Yeah, he is quite sneaky. I like the fact that he's, like, breaking character a lot more. Like, he is laughing a lot at the other contestants, and like when they're doing the task, like normally, like in the first few seasons, like it would take a lot for him to break. But in this one, he's just kind of like, you can see him laughing and smiling a lot more, which I think is really nice. And again, what we said before, like this series just seems like people are just trying to have fun, and I think that's so nice to watch. Yeah. You could just crouch down to make it really difficult to tell. Yeah, I think it was. You just cannot see over the curtain at all. Yeah, I think that would work. That'd be quite good, actually. Robert says, I think the gap between Charlotte and Sarah is the biggest between teammates. Yeah, probably. God, yeah, there is so much points between them. It'd be interesting to compare kind of like the end of the series results to all the other series. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if theirs is the biggest gap. I'm trying to think who else would maybe last series, maybe with Catherine Parkinson. Maybe like I wouldn't be surprised if her gap was quite big between her and Richard. Don says Alex is broken so much I can recognise his laugh. Yeah. Yeah, he has broken a lot. I think it was a Reddit post saying that Alex probably broke character because there was no studio audience, so he could give the contestants some sort of reaction. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, I think it's nice to see him, laugh a lot more. I think it's really nice to watch. I like it when they're having like a lot. You can tell they're having fun, and I can definitely see that with this series, which... yeah, it's just nice. It's just really nice to watch. Has the team of 3 won a team task yet? I think the only one that they won was the Salt one. Because yeah, I did see people talk about this as well. It's like the team of 2 like are favoured quite a bit. It is, I think it's just the salt sugar task that the team of 3 won. I believe. I would have loved it if there was a task that Greg believed Charlotte couldn't do and gave her 50 points if he was proven wrong. Wow, and just completely like throw the points off. Yeah, that would be funny. What task would it be though? What do they think Charlotte couldn't do? It would have to be something really difficult for 50 points. Chris says they also won the slap game. Yes, they did. Yeah, but like as a whole, considering how many team tasks there have been, it is insane. Like how many more the team of 2 have won over the 2 of 3. Because I think like we've had a lot of discussion about the tasks, the team tasks this season. That yeah, the points do seem to be a bit off with the team of 2. Like we've kind of contested some of the points, but yeah. I'll probably have to end the stream in about like 5 minutes, so we'll just like kind of wrap it up for the next 5 minutes. Greg has handed out a few bonus points this season. Yes, just trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of the other last week's episode maybe that he gave out quite a few bonus points. Yeah, they did. Yeah, with like Jamali coming up with the gaffer tape technique. God, my notebook at the moment is literally just full of Taskmaster notes. And like they're so messy as well. Perhaps they were all free thanks to the pandemic, thus more team tasks. Many couldn't return to normal work. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I do love the amount of team tasks they've had. Like, even though I disagree on the scoring most of the time, it is nice to see people interact and just have fun. I think it's just lovely. and especially because like we have been like deprived of social connection for a while. I think it is just really nice. They're just having fun and they're just doing some tasks together, and I think that's great. I didn't realise like how far back they filmed episodes though, because they talked about some of these I completely lost my train of thought. Oh my god, how I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, but the tasks being so far, like, yeah, because in the podcast I talk about filming some of the tasks before the pandemic, which is like how far in advance. Like I knew it would be like at least a year, but it seems like so much more. Can you talk about David Mitchell's show? Does that mean he won't be a contestant? Yes, if you don't know, basically Dave has released like a bunch of new shows. So I think it's called like Outsiders, is it? So it's like David Mitchell hosting a show setting 3 teams of contestants. I think there's 6 contestants in total. And they are so they're basically doing survival tasks, I believe. I think the contestants are Kerry Godliman, Jessica Knappett, Lou Sanders, Jamali, that's like Toussaint Douglas. I'm forgetting somebody. Somebody else will bring in the the next one. There is a 6th one that I can't remember. But yeah, so because David Mitchell is hosting it, I don't think he will be on Taskmaster because he is hosting this new kind of like contestants doing tasks show. Yes, Ed Gamble. I can't believe I got Ed Gamble. Yes, thank you, Robert. It is Ed Gamble who is on it. And then Ed Gamble and James Acaster have like co-created a show. There's also kind of like Taskmaster-esque. I can't remember exactly what his one is, but I'll find it now. Because that one does sound interesting as well. But yeah, basically like UK TV and like the Dave channel, they like basically release like loads of new shows. Oh yeah, it's called the Island, I think. Is the one that Ed Gamble and James Acaster created. Yeah, so it's hosted by Tom Allen, The Island, and it challenges comedians to devise their dream desert island. So yeah, that sounds quite good as well. It sounds like Taskmaster mixed with The Island of the Bear Grylls. Yeah, I think it is going to be really good, to be honest. I am really looking forward to it. Because it definitely does have that kind of like Taskmaster-esque kind of feel to it from what they said online. And I think David Mitchell's going to be a good host. And, you know, considering 5 out of 6 of the contestants are going to be from Taskmaster, which, yeah, I think it's going to be really good. They haven't announced when it's going to be released, like when it's going to start, but I think they've either filmed it or they are filming it at the moment, so hopefully it won't be too long. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I think someone has pointed out that there's kind of like a new like subgenre being kind of like generated and stuff because of Taskmaster, like comedians just like doing like silly tasks or, you know, and stuff like that. And I think it's a really good idea, and hopefully Outsiders won't disappoint, because I think it's got such good potential from like the cast like alone, and then like kind of Taskmaster gamey show. Yeah, I can't wait. Right, I think I'm going to end the stream there. As usual, it has been really, really good. I'm not sure. Basically, next week I'm going home for a bit before I move house. So, I'm not sure when I'll be able to do the live stream. I might have to do, either do 9 and 10 together, or do 9 a bit earlier, like on the Friday, and then the final episode on like the Sunday or something. Like I might have to move it around a bit, but I'll let you guys know on my like community tab what's going on, and I can put like a poll up to see what times and days best for you apart from Saturday. Yeah, but I don't know what's happening yet, so it'll probably have to be a bit closer to the time. So yeah, let me know what days are good for you once I've figured out what I'm doing. Because obviously, like I don't mind too much missing episode 9, but I want to be talking about the final with everybody. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what's happening. Because I'll have to be gone for at least a week. Because I've got like appointments and stuff. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and yeah, like I said, I'll try and let you know what's happening with next week's stream and the week after. So yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you next week at some point. Bye.